If you are struggling with feelings of self-guilt or blame like I did when I found out my son has plagiocephaly, please know that plagiocephaly and torticollis is such a common thing in infants. It's the result of so many factors and it's not your fault. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I want to talk to you about plagiocephaly and torticollis in infants. I have a son, he's 15 months old now, and when he was 3 months old he was diagnosed with severe plagiocephaly and torticollis. And these are the things I wish I knew after I gave birth so I can prevent it. But being a first-time mom, there's so much going on, there's so many things you have to deal with. I had problems breastfeeding in the beginning. We circumcised our son and we had some complications. He had reflux. He was diagnosed with tongue tie. Like, there were so many things going on and I never paid attention to the way he was sleeping or if he preferred any side. And I didn't know there's such a thing as plagiocephaly and torticollis. This is my experience, this is what worked for us, and I want to share that with you. This is a short clip of my baby after he was born, and I want to talk to you about babies' heads so you can understand better. So babies are born with soft heads to allow for the brain growth, and as a result their heads are easily molded. And sometimes passage through the birth canal during childbirth can cause a newborn's head to look pointy or too long. So it's normal for a baby's skull, which is made up of several bones that eventually fuse together, to be a bit oddly shaped during the few days or weeks after birth. And in my case, my baby was trapped in the birth canal for a little while because his cord was wrapped around his shoulder, so I ended up having an emergency C-section. And as you can see here, his head looked like an egg, a little pointy or long. Plagiocephaly is also called Flathead Syndrome, and Flathead Syndrome usually happens when a baby sleeps in the same position most of the time or because of problems with the neck muscles. And this problem does not harm brain development. And now I want to talk to you about the causes of a flattened head. The most common cause is a baby's sleep position. Because infants sleep for so many hours on their backs, the head sometimes flattens in one spot. So when you place your baby in devices where they lie down often during the day, like infant car seats or swings, carriers, strollers, also adds to this problem. Another cause for flathead syndrome can happen before birth if pressure is placed on the baby's skull by the mother's pelvis or a twin. And at the same time, being cramped in the womb can also cause torticollis, which can lead to a flattened head. So babies with torticollis have a hard time turning their heads because of tight neck muscles on one side of the neck, and they tend to keep their heads in the same position when lying down, and this can cause the flattening as well. If you have a baby that has flathead syndrome that's caused by a sleeping or lying position, I want to mention a few things that you can do at home to help treat this condition. A quick disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or a nurse or a physical therapist, so before trying any of this, consult with your doctor or your physical therapist. Tummy time is very important, and Alex hated his tummy time. It was like a torture for him. But I want to share with you a few positions that you can use, and that's going to help you bond as well. The first month after a baby is born is kind of hard for them to do tummy time. So you have to aim for 3 to 5 minute sessions 2 or 3 times a day, and as your child gets bigger and stronger you can slowly work your way up to 20 to 30 minutes of tummy time daily. Because Alex hated his tummy time, I wasn't too consistent with doing that. So once I found out he has plagiocephaly and torticollis, that's when I started to practice tummy time more often throughout the day. And what I noticed is that he would prefer to be on my lap. That made him feel more comfortable, or I would have him lay on my chest, and that's a great bonding activity that you can have with your baby. Another thing that you can do to help is to pick up and hold your baby more often, which will take pressure off the head overall. So reduce the amount of time your child spends lying on the back or often being in a position where the head is resting against a flat surface. While your baby sleeps, try reposition your baby's head from left to right or right to left when your baby is sleeping on the back. Even though your baby will probably move around throughout the night, it's still a good idea to place your child with the rounded side of the head touching the mattress and the flattened side facing up. This didn't really work with our baby because by the time we found out about this problem, he was very active and he was moving a lot throughout the night. Another simple way to help prevent your baby from getting a flat head is to change his or her position in the crib each day, and that's because your baby likes to have something interesting to look at, so he or she might turn the head to look at the room rather than toward the wall when they're in the crib. So one day place your baby with his head toward the head of the crib, and the next day place your baby with his head toward the foot of the crib. So try alternate your baby's position every day. If your baby has torticollis as well, you can go for physical therapy, and Alex went for physical therapy once a week for 3 to 4 months, I don't remember exactly, and they teach you a lot of exercises that you can do at home to help with their tight neck. And these are the torticollis stretches that we got from our physical therapist, and this is what we were doing at home every day. And I'm going to link in the description box down below a website where you can find some of these stretches if you want to practice at home. But again, please consult with a doctor or a physical therapist before you do any of this, because you have to be consistent with this, and you have to do it the right way, otherwise it's not going to work. One of my first videos when I started this channel was how we fix our baby's head without a helmet, because we didn't go for the dog band, we went for a different option. But I'm not going to talk about this today, but this is what helped us as well. I'm just going to mention it briefly so you can have an idea. So besides, okay, Alex is too loud and I cannot hear myself. Besides all these stretching exercises and tummy time, we also went to an OMT doctor once a week, sometimes twice a month, it depends. If you've never heard of an OMT doctor, it's an osteopath manipulation therapy doctor. He helped a lot Alex's head to get back in shape. We chose not to go for the dog band, for the helmet, and this is what worked for us. If you decide to go for an OMT doctor, he is going to assess your baby's head, and he is the one to tell you if he can fix it or not. What worked for us might not work for you, because each baby is different and each baby responds different to the treatment. We went a couple of times, and because we saw improvement, we decided to continue with this doctor and not go for the dog band, for the helmet. If you want to go for the helmet, I think they need to be at least 4 months old. But you choose what's best for you, what works best for you. This is what worked for us, and I'm happy we didn't go for the dog band, for the helmet, because some babies, some infants hate it, and Alex hates anything on his head like hat or beanie, so I don't know how he would have been wearing a helmet 23 hours a day. So yeah, that's one thing I didn't want to go through. I want to share with you something else that we use for Alex to help with his flat head. I know some doctors don't recommend this, but again, this is what worked for us, and I tried to find a nice pillow to use. So bear in mind, I used this only when he was awake, when he was laying down in his bassinet, when we would go for a walk, or if he would lay down in his playpen. If he was tired of his tummy time and he had to lay on his back, I would use this to put it under his head. And this one comes with a cover as well, because Alex had reflux. He would always get this dirty with spit up, so I had to wash it pretty often. I bought this on Amazon. I need to look for the box because I still have it for sure, so I can tell you the exact name, and I'm gonna try to link it in the description box down below. This one really helped, and it's made of memory foam. I bought so many different ones and I had to return it, and this was the only one that worked for us. I also bought this one. I didn't return it, I kept it just because it's cute, and he used it as a toy, as a plush toy. But this one with this hole here in the middle didn't work for us. It was very uncomfortable for him. This one worked. But again, this is optional. This is what worked for us. I hope this video was useful. If you have a baby, an infant diagnosed with Plagiocephaly and Torticollis, please know that there's a way to correct that, and there's a way to prevent it from getting it worse. A child's skull bones fused together, I think around the age of 3 or 4, something like that. So you have time to correct that. You just need to start early and be consistent with the stretching exercises and tummy time and all this. Thank you for watching. If you have any other questions, or if you think I didn't mention something, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.